This one, here's a simple question. Do you want your tax dollars given to a charity run by, ready for this, the family of Libyan dictator Muammar Qaddafi? No, you don't? Well, President Obama's administration wants to hand over $400,000, your dollars, to a Libyan charity run by the Qaddafi family. That idea, it's not going over big with some members of Congress from both sides of the aisle. Earlier, Illinois Congressman Mark Kirk went on the record. Congressman, first I have to wish you happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
It's the big one.
50, that's right.
I wasn't going to say it, but you said it.
That's right.
All right, well, to change tune a little bit, you wrote the president on 2 days ago. Why did you write President Obama?
We were pretty stunned when on the day Qaddafi appeared before the UN and said JFK was killed by the Israelis and the H1N1 flu was a corporate plot. We also heard the State Department wanted to give $200,000 to the foundation of Qaddafi's son and another $200,000 to the foundation of Qaddafi's daughter.
All right, is this a done deal or is this something they just want to do?
Right now it's proposed. The Congress has blocked it. The State Department is now wavering on this, but it's also part of a larger $2.5 million foreign aid package for Libya, an OPEC nation responsible for national security problems across Africa.
All right, have you gotten a response to your letter to the president?
No official response yet, but stunning that Saif Qaddafi would get $200,000 of taxpayer money. This is the man who organized the welcome home ceremony for the man that murdered 189 Americans aboard Pan Am 103.
All right, well, what's been the justification? What are you hearing besides your letter? Have you made a phone call or talked to anybody? Why are they willing to make this grant or this contribution?
What they claimed was that the Libyans are better off now, and certainly
better off with what?
Certainly the Libyans have stopped an active program to make nuclear weapons. But they're still responsible for chaos across Africa. And what we saw from the Qaddafi speeches, this is not a stable government with a rational head of state.
Where's this $200,000 to each group? What are the charities?
So this is for the foundation of both Qaddafi's son and daughter. So supposedly to do democracy and governance work. But horribly naive because this is a one-party state with one dictator, Muammar Qaddafi.
Who are you getting support from?
So we're getting support from across the board. It's the Kirk-Klein letter, Congressman Klein, Democrat from Florida. And
so it's bipartisan?
It's absolutely bipartisan because this is an unaccountable, complete waste of taxpayer funding. $2.5 million to the Libyans should not be spent. All
right, here's what I don't get, though. I mean, as much as we were all appalled to see that celebration when the Pan Am bomber arrived back in Libya, it was the Scots, UK, who released him. What are we doing to them? I mean, these are supposed to be our friends. At least we've always been suspicious, and Libya has done rotten things to us. But are we letting Scotland and the UK off the hook? Or are we doing anything about that?
We have. I think Prime Minister Gordon Brown has a lot to answer for. It's likely he's going to be defeated in elections next year in the UK, so we won't have him much longer. But it was a terrible mistake by the UK government.
But are we doing anything affirmative? Has President Obama done anything affirmative? We're talking about cutting off these 200,000 grants to these two charities in Libya. Are we doing anything, affirmative besides telling the UK and Scotland, gee, we're not happy with you?
I think for most of us, we still have great affection for the British people. They're serving with us in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's likely the Brown government is going to fall very soon anyway.
All right. In your prior life, you worked at the State Department in Latin America, so let me throw a wild one at you. Honduras.
Right.
Have you been following that?
I have, and I think the United States has taken the wrong side in that battle. The president tried to take power unto himself. He decisively lost a Supreme Court case. The rule of law prevailed there, and I think the United States should support the Supreme Court and the new government, which will take place after elections November 29th.
So why is the U.S. supporting Zelaya?
I think it's a misguided policy to tend towards the left-wingers in Latin America. And I think the most courageous leaders are leaders like the president of Colombia, Uribe, the president of Mexico, Calderon, and to support the rule of law in Honduras, which is the Supreme Court decision.
All right, do you want to weigh in on Iran, or do you want to take a pass on that, the news today?
No, I think what we found was that the Iranians have now lied a third time, covering up a secret uranium enrichment facility outside Qom. And the Congress has a decision to make next week. H.R. 2194, the Iran Gasoline Sanctions Act, has 312 bipartisan co-sponsors in the House.